Everybody watching this, you need to start doing an audit, AUDIT, an audit of your actions. This is absolutely critical. And this should happen monthly or at the very least quarterly. And there's only 3 categories your actions are going to fall into. And I want you to think about this as there's a thing called the enterprise value of your business. So the enterprise value of your business for the purpose of this exercise is $10 million, okay? So you have a $10 million business and you're gonna do an audit of your actions, not just you, but people on your team are gonna do this as well. Critical exercise. So now you take your actions, they fall into 3 different buckets. There's one bucket called subtraction, there's one bucket called addition, and then there's one bucket called multiplication. So if you have actions in the subtraction bucket, what that means, and this is you doing this, you as an individual and your team members doing this as well, it means that you are actually stealing enterprise value from the $10 million business. So it's critical that you identify those activities as these are negative. They're subtracting value from the enterprise value. Now you might say, but they still have to get done. I get it, just not by you. Because for somebody else, that might be an addition or a multiplication, but for you, it's a subtraction, which is why you need to do this exercise at least quarterly, if not even monthly. So take actions, put them in the subtraction bucket, and either eliminate them or delegate them to someone where that would be a multiplication for them. And multiplication is like an economic thing. So maybe you're doing certain tasks that are super mundane, that are like $5 an hour tasks. Well, then you should give it to somebody who's a $3 an hour person. That's a multiplication type of thing, right? That's just something that they're qualified to do. It doesn't make them better or worse than you. It just makes it a multiplication activity for that person. But if you're doing it and you're a $300 an hour person and you're doing $5 tasks, it's literally stealing enterprise value. So your $10 million business at the end of the quarter is now worth $7 million. How does that feel? I mean, you're getting closer to zero. It better feel like shit. Like it's just not good. It's not a positive outcome. So that is what we call a subtraction bucket. The next is the addition bucket. So the addition bucket are things that are progressing the enterprise value, but just incrementally. It's like a 1 + 1 = 2. So once you identify what those are things that if you're a $300 an hour person, maybe it's a $305 activity. So yeah, it's definitely taking your $10 million business and making it $10.5 million, but it's not really moving the needle. So it's important to then look at those and say, okay, it's still moving us in the right direction. Is there a way to turn my addition into multiplication? And one way to do that is leveraging different technologies, like using artificial intelligence as a tool that just will save you time on that activity, because maybe you're still uniquely qualified to do it, but as a result, it takes less effort, and now it's no longer an addition, it's a multiplication, or it's assessing what team members you have or contractors you can bring in and saying, okay, this is a $305 activity. Is there someone worth $100 an hour that can do that? Because if yes, now we're talking multiplication again, right? Multiplication means it's more than 1 + 1 = 2. The third bucket is multiplication. That means you're a $300 an hour person and you're doing activities that are worth $1,500. So that's multiplication. You're 5xing your value, which means that your $10 million enterprise value business is worth significantly more, 5x the value. It's worth $50 million. So here's the goal. You got to eliminate or delegate subtraction the moment that you see it. Eliminate it or delegate it. Eliminate it or delegate it. You then need to give yourself 30 days to turn your addition into multiplication. 30 days. This is not like, I'll figure this out over the next year. It's too long. You're going to grow too incrementally. 30 days, which means you become more operationally efficient with that responsibility, or you delegate it to someone where it becomes a multiplication for them, which means it's a multiplication for the entire organization. And then you've got to just double the freak down on your multiplication activities, whatever those are for you. And if you do it monthly, it gets easier. If it's quarterly, you're going to see like your just enterprise value is stagnant or going backwards because there's just too many things that are falling into the subtraction and addition bucket. This is not esoteric. This is super tactical and practical. It just requires you to be hyper self-aware and then to instill it across your organization as well. Focus on multiplication. Get everybody operating in multiplication and watch how fast your enterprise value grows.